And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Late Bloomer Actor. In today's engaging conversation, we dive into the world of acting with Chris Gunn, talented actor right here from my hometown, Adelaide. Listeners can expect to learn about the unique challenges and opportunities faced by regional actors, the importance of mindset and persistence in the acting industry, and this is a big one, how Chris's journey from the childhood performances to playing Noel Gallagher in our biopic showcases the potential for success regardless of your location. Whether you're an aspiring actor or simply curious about the craft, this episode offers valuable insights into the realities of pursuing an acting career no matter where you are, whatever location and what stage you're at. So here we go. Enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Late Bloomer Actor. Today, we bring it back home to Adelaide again, but I promise you, we will be chatting about the world. So whether you're Adelaide-based or one of my many overseas listeners, embrace yourself. We have in the room Mr. Chris Gunn. Welcome, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for joining the Late Bloomer Actor podcast. And how are you today anyway, being a Monday, 2nd of March?
I'm so good. It's 4 p.m. The day's nearly done for me. I've done 2 jobs today, like cleaning jobs, my normal job. So it was a busy one. I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm sweet. I'm happy to be here.
And I'm off the back of a night shift. So
really,
eyes might be a little bit tired for those watching on YouTube anyway. So
oh my God. Night shift. Did you get any sleep?
I did. I slept till I set my alarm for 12:30 and got up and then did the shopping. So, life is so exciting, isn't it, as actors?
Yeah, we're living life.
I love it. I've still got the 3 boys at home, so it was a $600 shop today. Yeah. So.
Whoa, $600? Oh, I hope they're chipping in, man.
They do a little bit. They're all working and all 3 at uni still, so we've got to help them out a little bit. So, mate, I wanted to bring you on because my podcast is talking to people who are involved in my journey as an actor. Now, as actors, we haven't been on set together yet. I think we've crossed paths. No, we've crossed paths at some courses and I think and some functions. But you are the host of the brand new podcast, albeit not so brand new now. You're quite a few episodes down of Go Pluck Yourself.
Yeah.
So, and I've listened to every episode, which I absolutely love. So, and I've had a few. Mate. No problems. I've got a list of about a good, I reckon, 20 or so podcasts I listen to. So my queue is usually about a day's worth, as in time. So I'm always chasing the tail, so to speak. Mostly actor podcasts, but then also some podcast-related shows as well. So it keeps me busy.
What other acting podcasts do you listen to?
Oh God, you're gonna put me on the.
Do you listen? Well, I'll help you. Do you listen to In the Envelope?
Yes, they've been quiet for a little while.
They're not as frequent as they used to be, but that was like my Bible for years. Like I listened to every single episode.
Yeah.
And I think that period was like a pivotal moment for me in figuring out my approach to acting. So that's definitely my favorite.
I agree, 100%. A lot have gone quiet. I don't know what is. After COVID, there was lots to listen to. Everyone was doing it. But Audrey Helps Actors was one of my biggest ones.
Oh, yeah.
Audrey's gone quiet. She hasn't done it for over a year now as well. So I'm just trying to sneak here on my phone and give you a head.
Yeah, have a look.
I've actually spoken to a few of my guests, and this is my old age coming out in memory. So acting, I listen to Smartless. I listen to a bunch of podcasting shows, Reality Check with Ross Coulthard. So I'm a bit into the alien stuff and
oh, really?
Exposure for UAPs and stuff. So that's big for us.
Nice.
Casting Confidential. Listen to the one audition with Alicia Oxley. I've had her on the show.
Okay, I don't know. I know Audrey Helps Actors. I don't know these other ones. I know Smartless. I listened to that.
Yeah. So the one audition's good. She talks to a bunch of really top actors, but it's more about that one audition that they either hated or loved. So quite good. Where are we going? Tipsy Casting out of the England. There are a couple of casting directors I listen to.
Okay, Tipsy Casting.
So that one audition again, and that's all I got on my list at the moment. But
I like it, man.
As I said, a few.
There's some good ones to listen to. There's a few that I need to check out. I've only heard of a couple of those, so
you listen to the Late Bloomer Actor, obviously.
And the late bloomer actor.
I'm up to season 5.
So how many
So,
episodes have you done?
I do 10 episodes a year, so that's
Okay,
so we're in the 40s now. Plus
nice.
my what I call my off script episodes, which are just some ad hoc ones that I throw in between. So I do monthly episodes with a guest, and
Yep,
then some off script ones, which just something different to throw in there.
yeah.
So when I've got the time, so.
That's great, man. Awesome.
But since we're on the topic anyway, just
Yeah.
for the people that don't know, give us a little bit of an insight into Chris Gunn, the actor, and then lead into your podcast, and then we'll go from there. But I must say,
Mm.
firstly, before we go, we've had another Gunn on the podcast,
Have you?
Karina Gunn. I
Oh,
believe
that's
she's
my
your
mum.
mother.
Yeah.
She was in
I
season
know her.
1. Yeah,
Oh, was she?
season
Oh, yeah,
1.
no, I do. I remember her.
Yeah.
I remember her coming on here with Nick. She
Yeah,
came on with
with
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
When Nick and Karina were both my agents. I've moved to a Sydney agent now, but
Yep.
they're still wonderful friends and great agents here in Adelaide, and still your agents too, I believe.
Well,
So,
Nick is. Mum's not part of the industry or part
no,
of the agency
she's
at all anymore,
she's
but
just doing the kids
she
training
runs,
still, Kids Met
yeah, drama classes.
still,
So, and
and
she
she's
loves
awesome
that. She's
teacher.
great.
I
Yeah, and
love it.
she knows heaps about the industry. Like she's been in it for so long, and she's a ray of sunshine. You know, she makes people smile. So,
And she what
yeah,
made you
love my mum.
want? You do. Hi, Karina, if you're
Hi,
listening.
mum.
Is she what made you get into acting, or was there another
No, oh,
influence
well, I
there?
mean, I guess technically, I mean, she made me. So I was acting when I was a kid. Like my sister and I were both into drama and stuff when we were kids. We had a lot of extracurriculars when we were kids. So we were always doing drama classes after school, piano lessons, magic, uh, juggling and unicycling, lots of performance stuff, like just anything. I think my parents just
Lived
thought it
in a
was really
circus?
important to keep us busy. Yeah, like we literally would do circus, would do the pageant as a family. Like
Okay,
dad and I
wow,
would ride unicycles through the pageant and stuff, and I'd go to
that's cool.
juggling club with my dad, and it was just every night of the week we had something else on. And it was just a really fun childhood, you know. I feel very grateful and privileged to have had the childhood that I did have. It was wonderful, you know,
I
and
love it.
it's definitely everything that I did as a kid has led me to who I am as a person now, obviously. So I guess I fell in love with performing when I was a kid because I would play music all the time, and I used to be a busker, and that led to playing full time gigs in pubs, like playing
Wow.
guitar and singing. And how did it turn into acting? I guess with acting, we were always, I don't know, we would just like, I went to Actors Inc. and Actors Inc. would get you,
Same as me.
yeah, right. So they have like an agency. That's an agency as well, and a very big agency. So like, you know, for someone that didn't have much experience like we did when we were kids, we
Mm.
would get extras work and stuff. And you know, that was cool as a kid being on a set as an extra. And I didn't really think too much of it for many years, like actually pursuing acting, until I think when Mum and Nick bought the agency of Chris Kosh, then the acting world became much more prominent, like, you know, from day to day
Mm.
conversations, you know. So they bought the agency, and then I would start going for auditions and still was very inexperienced. But then I landed a role in that commercial, Crazy K, and I still, when I did that, you know, I did a pretty good job of it, but I still didn't consider acting afterwards. I remember
Mm.
saying to my friend after I shot that, I was like, "Well, that was pretty fun. Like, I think I did okay at that." And and I'm like, maybe I could do that. And he's just like, nah, don't do that, bro. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I probably won't do that, you know. And so I still just left it on the shelf for a while. And so it was just a thing that I would just every now and then an audition would come up and I'd go for them and I usually wouldn't get them. But it wasn't until 2020 or 2021
No.
when I randomly decided to audition for Red Phoenix Theatre to do the Laramie Project. And I
Oh, of
got into
course.
that,
Mm.
and that experience was just um, the first time that I'd really experienced what it felt like to connect to a character or characters, and connect to a story and connect to a script and really understand what the point of the whole thing was. It wasn't just
I love
about entertaining or attention or whatever. It was about actually being part of a story and telling a story. So
especially
that's
the
where I
Laramie
really fell in love
the
with it.
Laramie project. That's like let's just dive straight.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, totally, man.
heavy
It was 3
topic.
hours, 3 hour play. You're on stage the whole time. We're playing 7 characters each.
Wow.
It was like, yeah, the deep end, man. And we sold out every single show. We got really good
Well done.
reviews. It was just, thanks, man. Yeah, so for that to be like my first experience back into theater. Oh, bear in mind, I did like theater in high school, like drama in high school,
Okay, so you've
all
been
through
on
high school.
stage.
So I definitely, I grew up on stage. I just never considered pursuing acting. Again, like, it was the first time I really, it was more than just being the class clown. It was actually telling a story.
More the owning it and running with it and getting that in depth, doing it for
Yeah,
real.
and collaborating with other actors and analyzing the script properly. I think when you're young, in your 20s or when you're 18, especially in high school, acting is about attention. But when you're in your 20s, still like your frontal, what is it? Your prefrontal cortex is still developing. Maybe mine still is. I don't even know what it's called. I don't think it clicked for me for a little while until I was in my late 20s. And I think a lot of things didn't click for me until my late 20s, like just life in general, So
There's nothing wrong with that. So
no. I mean, that maybe that's appropriate for the name of your podcast.
yeah, well, I mean, the term late bloomer is it's all sorts of things. I mean, it sort of alludes to the fact that something in your 40s, but late bloomers can be in your 20s.
40s is so young, man. What are you talking? I'm 34. Like 40, I need to consider 40s young because it's going to come quickly.
Well, yeah. Well, how about we do 50s? Because I'm 53 in May, so getting old now.
No, you don't look a day over 52.
Thank you. Hey, before we pivot into your podcast,
sure.
What I wanted, and I know you talk about this on your show all the time, and you joke about, oh, we never talk about this, but you were fortunate to play the role of Noel Gallagher in Robbie Williams' biopic, Better Man.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight out front, it's on my list to see. Actually, I missed out at the cinema, unfortunately. But and for my younger listeners here, Noel Gallagher is from the awesome English band, none other than Oasis, who I believe have made a comeback. Is that correct?
Yeah, they've just finished a massive tour. They hadn't toured. Oh, I'm going to get the times wrong here, but they split up for a very long time. It was like we thought they were never going to get back together, and then they announced their reunion. The brothers didn't talk. The Gallagher brothers didn't talk for many, many years, and so when they go back together, it was a big deal for Oasis fans. Yes, and I just saw them in Sydney last year, which was mad. I couldn't see them; they were this big. I was so far back, but I'm sure they were there.
Oh, geez, it's hard to get tickets to a concert these days, even any seat,
Oh,
a
man,
good one.
and so expensive. But it was a great experience just to be, in that crowd, in that stadium. The energy was pretty unreal.
I can imagine.
Cool.
I can imagine.
But yeah, I played Noel Gallagher, which was wild. I still can't believe that happened.
And I know, as I said, you have talked about it a lot on your podcast, so people can go there to get some insights into that. But what I wanted to talk about is, so stepping into the role of Noel Gallagher really showed a lot of Adelaide actors what's possible. There's a lot of misconceptions, whether they're wrong or right, in Adelaide that include we're overlooked for any acting opportunities of merit. So you getting this role, do you feel that this shows that the world can be open to Adelaide actors, or more importantly, any regional-based actor in any market around the world?
100%. Like, it bothers me so much that is even a thing. We make so many good projects here. Like, there's so much talent here. There's amazing crews here. I mean, some of the best Australian films were made in South Australia,
And some of the best actors are from
and some of the best
South
actors.
Australia.
The problem, what happens is people leave Adelaide, and it's kind of, once you get anywhere, you leave, and that's kind of why I think that's why that is a thing. It bothers me, and I'm a little bit defiant. I don't really want to go anywhere. I love Adelaide. I grew up here. My whole family's here. We have self-tapes now. If they really want you, they can fly you interstate. The process it should be the same as if you were interstate. So,
Definitely.
yeah, I think that's probably part of the reason why I didn't think it was possible to get a role like Noel Gallagher in Better
Mm,
Men when Nick called me and said, "Hey, there's this movie, and they're looking for Liam Gallagher," because I was meant to play Liam originally.
that's right. Mm,
And I just said, "Nah, man, I said no. I said, no, there's no way I can do that. They're not going to pick me. I'm in Adelaide. I thought it might be shot in the UK, but he's like, no, it's shot in Melbourne." And I said, "Whatever, man. No, that's not my gig, bro." I literally said that.
wow.
And he said, he called me later and he said, "Look, they haven't actually asked to see you, but I think you have a good chance." I don't know why, but sure. And he said, "Just send some." He didn't tell me to record anything. He he asked if I had any old videos of me singing because we didn't know what was required of the role yet. We just knew there was Liam Gallagher. He was meant to be in the film.
Gotcha.
And so we thought, oh, maybe he's going to be singing or something. And he was like, "Just send a video of you singing." And I said, well, all the old videos of me singing were like, I don't know, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Angus and Julia Stone and stuff. So it wasn't very like Liam Gallagher esque. So I recorded a cover that night and sent that in. And then I think it was like the next day or a couple of days later, the casting directors, who was it? Telford and Leonard casting,
Right.
they requested for me to officially audition. So I had like a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks to actually prepare for the audition because it was over Christmas. But
I,
I think that whole rhetoric about Adelaide actors not getting opportunities is it's it's there, but it's kind of bullshit. I think we should just ignore it and go for the roles anyway because it's quite
mm,
old school, and I think there were certain people that were spreading that and sabotaging the industry here and saying Adelaide actors can't act, which is bullshit. And we
mm.
should move on from that and just face the fact that, like, there's no, what's the difference between Adelaide actor? Look, Damon Harriman's an Adelaide actor.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
definitely, and comes
uh,
back regularly, which is good to see. So
yeah.
I've
And
seen him at the airport
there's
a couple
more.
of
It's
times.
I've obviously that's on top of my list in my head right now. And but there's so much talent here. There's so much talent that's come out of here. I don't understand why that's a thing. But if you still think that, shut up.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to bring it up because I think that that thought process might perpetuate that, and actors might. I mean, you said it yourself. You almost didn't submit because you didn't think you had that opportunity. You didn't think you were worthy of it, so to speak, but you did, and you were worthy of it. So, I see a lot of actors don't commit. We get casting directors down for courses, or we get good teachers down, and then everyone's excited, but then no one signs up. So that perpetuates that myth of that unreliability. And I just wanted to really nail it on the head to show that if you think like that, you might get that coming out. But if you think that you can make it, and your role as Noel just shows that it can happen. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
definitely. I think if there's anything in you that tells you that you're not worthy, I mean, what's the point in going for it? You just
Exactly.
there's always going to be something in your head that's talking you out of going for something. I think because we
Mm.
we naturally have a level of imposter syndrome or tall poppy syndrome. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
just go for anything. Like if the opportunities come your way, just go for it. You might not get them, and to be honest, like it is a barrier. Like being in
of
Adelaide is a
course.
barrier because a lot of things are shot interstate, and
Mm.
it logistically it makes more sense to hire locally for them.
Yeah, I got in trouble once. I went down and auditioned for Anusha Zarkesh in Canberra, and flew down and everything like that. And there was a bit of miscommunication because I remember Karina reached out and said David's would like to apply for that role and he's going to fly in, and there was no issues. But I think someone underneath Anusha said that was a call. And when I stood in front of her and said, "Oh, I've just flown in from Adelaide," she didn't went off for want of terms, but she got a little bit angry, and she explained it quite openly. She says, "Look, we can't can't commit to casting calls if we need you short term, you know, it's a smaller budget. So that
Yeah.
made perfect sense. But it doesn't mean you can't. They know you're
Mm,
in Adelaide. You tell them the truth. Don't lie. Don't say you're
mm,
in Sydney if you can't be on a plane tomorrow morning.
definitely.
That sort of thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I like to
it's
say.
definitely a choice to be here.
Mm,
Like, it is quieter. It's not a lack of talent, it's a lack of opportunity, I guess.
yeah.
The machine is working faster and more consistently
Mm.
over there, you know? So it's a choice to be here, but
And
don't
it's
think
definitely
it's got
getting
anything
better
to do with your
too.
skills.
No,
Yeah,
because Upright was filmed here, and I got really angry because I was on set just as background, and there was 5 or 6 actors all flown in from Melbourne. Most of them were one-liners. I said, "What are you
yeah,
doing? We've got" and, yeah, nothing they were all good, but they were
mm.
certainly, on par with everyone that was available in Adelaide, so that annoyed me, but that's a long time ago, so I think it's changed a lot now, which is good, and that
I think
is
so.
probably
But
the same for a
also,
lot of regional markets.
I think if you have to also understand that, like, so much of the opportunities that arise in this industry are it's who you know, and
Mm,
if you're mixing with that market in Melbourne all the time, you know, that's a factor. So again, like, it is a choice to be here because it is quieter, but it's a very small pond, so it's easy
mm,
to sort of know everyone here. So if things do happen, you might come across their desk more often if it's a Adelaide production. If it's a Sydney or Melbourne production, even if it's shot here, there is a element of who you know. So yeah, again, it's a
definitely.
choice to be here, and I'm choosing to be here for now. I don't know what the future holds. If we end up moving to Melbourne or Sydney, I'll do it, and it would be for me. It would be for the sake of being in Melbourne and Sydney. I'm not going to stop pursuing my career just because I'm choosing to live in Adelaide right now because I
Exactly
want to
right.
be around my family. You know?
Mm. And, you
Yeah,
know, the market is now worldwide, so people are auditioning for productions in the States and everything like that. So, yeah,
yeah,
it's obviously hard and, yeah, they're looking for someone with credits, but you never know when you've got that little thing that they can't find anywhere else. So don't think you don't have it. Make sure you go
no.
for it, guys.
And
All
but
right. Go on.
while you're waiting for the opportunities, like,
Mm.
I mean, there's so much that you can be doing in while you wait, and
Of course. Mm.
there's more than just career. There are things that can help your career. You need to be finding opportunities to practice the actual craft, and there are so many independent and student films and indie films that are being made here
Mm.
where you can really be responsible for reaching out to those filmmakers and saying, "Hey, I want to be part of your film," and that's going to benefit you and build those credits and build that experience. Ultimately, that's what you should be focusing on is building your skills
Mm.
as an actor and not getting bogged down in the bitterness of the fact that all the career stuff because
Yeah.
that's one part of it, but really just become a good actor. That's the main thing, and then all the
Mm.
other shit doesn't matter. You will get hired eventually, or for some things if you're a good actor.
I agree, and you just gotta keep having fun with it. That
Mhm.
comes out all the time with every guest I speak
Yeah,
to is, when you're not having fun anymore, then what's the point?
that's right. On the thing about like fun, like ultimately you got to ask yourself why you're doing it in the first place.
Mm.
There's no wrong answers to that. You know, everyone can do this for a different reason, and every one of those reasons is perfectly legitimate. Someone might just want to do amateur theater because it gives them something to do for 3 months of the year, a couple of times a year or once a year, and they got a good community and they're not interested in pursuing anything and they're not interested in making any money from this. At the same time, someone might have a lot of really great stories to tell and they've got all these ideas in their head that they want to get down and they want to go and make their own films and make a big name for themselves. And that's also a perfectly legitimate dream to
Yes,
chase. But ask yourself why you're doing it in the first place and what do you actually get out of it. And even if it's that's just the process of learning something new and the process of expressing yourself in any capacity, that's enough. Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
That's enough. You know, don't think
And
of
that's
it
a
of not reaching any point as some failure. Just make sure that you enjoy every single
mm,
day. The process, even this, I enjoy this. I feel like an actor today because we're talking about acting, and we're not making money right now. We're not getting our name out there in a massive way. You know, a few people might watch this and that's lovely. We might help some people. We might change someone's mind about something or help them consolidate something in their mind. And that's enough. That's enough for today. That's a great thing to do as an actor today, you know.
It's done. And that's a great segue into, well, we both are podcast hosts. So with your podcast, you've built Go Pluck Yourself. It's Pluck, people.
Yeah.
You've built it into a space where actors and creatives share their honest journeys. Very similar to what I do, but from theatre to TV, festivals to film sets. So what sparked the idea to start this show, and how did the Pluck Yourself philosophy become your guiding star?
What sparked the idea was a few things, in no particular order, a few things. But one of them was that there's this idea that we have to make content as creators just to get our name out there. And it's like this awful, grimy thing that we have to do. Instead of doing the actual thing we want to be doing, we have to make content about the thing we want to be doing. You know, it's disgusting, but it's a necessity. And 2026 is such a weird time to be living. So there's that. So I was thinking, all right, what can I do? I have no idea what to say to a camera. Like, it's hard to talk about yourself, but I know that I have really good conversations about acting when I talk to other actors. So there was that. So I started making these acting advice videos, like reels. You know how I did the Better Man reels? I did the 3-part series on how I got the roles. Yeah. So I made that, and I was like, oh, that was like, I didn't mean to make that. And it ended up like, I was really proud of that thing. And it was way too much work. There's no way I could keep up with that every week. It was, you know, it killed me making those things for, you know, a minute and a half worth of content, you know, ridiculous. But I started making these advice videos and things like, how do you deal with nerves on set? And one of them was Go Pluck Yourself, just me talking to the camera. In fact, the first episode of Go Pluck Yourself is a little teaser episode, and it's a minute and a half long. That was the script that I used as one of those advice reels that I made. So that was supposed to be just a reel.
Yep.
And it was me saying, go pluck yourself. You know, I used to think that when I was, you know, up and coming, someone's going to pluck me out of the crowd and, you know, all that shit. I made like 5 advice videos, and I didn't release any of them because I realized that I could give advice, but I don't really have any authority to be giving advice. And some of the advice, I just think advice is weird. You know, it's unsolicited, and I'm a straight white dude on the internet. You know, it's, you know, yeah. So I didn't release any of these advice videos because I didn't want to be the acting advice guy. I want to be an actor, and I want to be known as an actor, not the guy that gives acting advice, which is perfectly fine, by the way, for all those acting advice actors that are making content with acting advice.
Because we listen to them. Yeah,
we listen to them, but also there are some really bad acting advice out there. And I think we should be really careful with what we consume. And so I always say, like, take it all with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, definitely.
So I didn't release any of these acting advice videos. I thought the Go Pluck Yourself thing, I was like, maybe this would be better if I turn this into a podcast, because I think I'd around that time I'd been on a few sets, and I was driving to set with someone, and we had this really, really good chat. And it happened a few times that, like, if I was ever driving to set with someone, we would have these really good chats like this about acting and what's going on for you at the moment. Like, oh yeah, this thing. And oh, isn't it annoying that Adelaide actors never get any, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Love it.
And I thought, man, we should just record this. Like, driving in the car, just chuck a mic in the car and just record this conversation. So then I thought, well, I'll just start the podcast. And I took the name from that first reel that I'd made, Go Pluck Yourself. I was going to call it Fameless, like Smartless, but fameless. But yeah, you know. I mean, look, I love it. I love an on the nose pun. I can't walk past one. So
that reminds me. So there's another podcast. She calls hers "One Broke Actress." It's the name of her podcast. It's similar sort of concept.
Another one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. There's another one that I found recently, which is very similar to what we do. It's called Off Duty Actors.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
She's in Brisbane. Her name's, I checked her podcast out. It's good.
Nice.
Same sort of thing, you know.
So continuing on talking about your podcast, which this is great because, and you alluded to it before, is there's a little bit of selfishness there about getting your own image out there and your own point of view, but it's about finding people to talk about the issues that we all talk about as actors. So you've had some amazing guests already. I just wanted to bring up, so you had Eric Thompson on recently, Lucas Sedelis, Adelaide actress, and Damon Herriman, Adelaide again. They're all actors at very different stages of their careers, but they all seem to point to the same underlying truth about the industry. What do you think this is? Is it more about, do they talk about it's more about talent, or do they lean to it being more about mindset and persistence?
I don't think any of them have really pointed towards talent. I think they are all very talented,
Of course.
but they're all too humble to talk about that. I think talent is one of those things that comes with input, like the amount of time you put into something and consistency and finding ways to train and humble yourself. Is that the right? I don't know. It's my first day on Earth. Sorry.
What a bad day to pick. Everything going on in the world.
I'm just trying to figure this place out. Well, yeah. What was your question? Like, what was the sort of driving theme from all these different actors in different stages of their career? You mean? Or?
Yeah. I sort of prompted a little bit because what I got from it, that they never talked about their talent. It was always about their mindset and persistence. And that's a big theme that I get all the time. And I always joke about, my wife's going to stick her head in now and laugh at me, point at me, because she says, you've got to do mindfulness. You've got to work on your mindset. And that seems to be the biggest thing. And I just distinctly remember all three of them really focusing on that they just did the work and they had the fun, which we've already talked about. So do you see that as a recurring theme with all the actors?
Yeah, for sure. There's so many themes that come up in these conversations, I think. But yeah, that's definitely a theme. Like, and it's a bit of a cliche, the whole mindset thing. It's a very podcast word.
Yeah,
but
seems to be anyway.
Sure. It is about your mindset, and it's also quite a vague description as well. But I mean, what does that mean to you? What comes to mind when I say that, like mindset?
See, I look at my mindset as I've got to correct the negative mindset. I have that all the time. And we started the show talking about it, but the Adelaide actors having this mindset that we're not going to make it if we're in Adelaide. So it's about having that positive mindset no matter where you are, is how I'm seeing it, because Damon Herriman's from Adelaide. So he made it. He made it out. That sounds like the movie. He made it out. But you know what I mean? It's about that positive mindset that seems to come through. And that's what I like to focus on a lot, is saying, so many actors are going, well, who am I? I'm just David Clark. I don't look too great on camera. And, am I a good actor? Am I going to make it? It's always this am I, instead of I will.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think for those guys, like those actors, there's an element of like positivity. Like, I mean, if you were just miserable and negative about it all the time, you would just stop trying, right? There's obviously a bit of that, the optimism. A lot of these actors are more realists, I think. Especially, like, I think Damon said that in his episode. He was saying he's just a realist. He actually didn't think anything would happen. He didn't think he would get picked. And I think a lot of us think that we're not going to get chosen for roles. But we also recognize that is the reality of the industry, that it's very unlikely that we're going to win a role over someone else. It's very unlikely that we're going to have a consistent career. That's just how it is.
Across the board.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a choice. It's a lifestyle choice, knowing that you probably won't, like, if you're going to pursue this, it's going to take a constant battle of rejection and I don't know, just you have to continually move on to the next thing. As soon as the last thing is finished or the last experience is done, the last rejection happens, you got to move on to the next thing. You have to really love doing it to pursue this thing, because there's a really small chance of anything actually happening. And when they do, it's so few and far between. I think these guys, the theme is really like it's a you have to be realistic and you have to understand how this industry works. Otherwise, you fall into the trap of beating yourself up and blaming
Yeah.
yourself and looking too introspectively and thinking like, or is it because of me? I mean, it might be because of someone's mindset, or like, or they might actually want it too much. You know, they might be too desperate and they're not actually focusing on what they should be focusing on, which is the work, the
Mm.
actual craft. And people are too consumed in this other thing, which is the career or whatever their idea of success is.
I've spoken to so many actors who talk about self-tape, for example, and or auditions in the room when they used to be a thing, and it comes across quite quick when you know someone's desperate and they want the job. They lose
Oh
that
yeah.
acting. Um, so that's about loosening yourself, so to speak. So I think you had Nick Launchbury on a couple of episodes back. So he does a lot of self-tape working here in Adelaide. So he spoke a lot about
Mm.
that too, about getting that relaxed state in the room. Did you
Oh yeah.
would you agree?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Relaxation is like so important. It's so easy to get into your head in an audition or in any situation, like on a
mm,
set. It's really easy to get in your own head. There are so many things that can, so many factors that can affect your your mind. You know,
mm,
your headspace. Obviously, nerves are a big thing. You have to understand how you handle your own nerves and what you do with your nerves when they come, because they will happen. Like, nerves will happen, they're okay, they will happen, but you need to experience what it feels like to have nerves to understand how you deal with them, so that you can
definitely.
again
Mm,
put them aside for a moment and get on with the job. So there's one thing, and there's what people think of you. If that's a thing that goes through your head, you have to understand how you deal with that feeling of what people's perception of you are. And is that actually important? Does that matter? Like,
mm,
I don't know, if you want to be liked, maybe, but is that important as well? I don't know. There's so many things that can affect your mindset when you're going in for an audition, and I think it's about recognizing all those things that come up for you, and one by one finding methods to handle them, so that you can put them all aside and just really be relaxed and present and get on with the job, which is connecting to this character and listening to your scene partner and listening to the director, listening to the casting directors and collaborating, putting all that other shit aside and going, all right, yeah, sure, I'm nervous, whatever. I'm
just
nervous all the time.
do it. Mm.
Get on with this thing.
I
I
mean
got to listen. I got to lock in, you know?
I mean, it's a bit fun. I mean, even this, I'm comfortable in my space here with my recording studio, but I've still got, the red rash because I'm so focused. I've got so many things I'm worried about. What's my next question of, how
Mm,
am I going to prelude to that? Am I getting my upload? And so my brain is still doing 100 things. You
mm,
don't want that in the room. You just, cameras
no.
on, just go in, deliver it, and you got to find that thing. Get in, get out is a big thing I've heard a lot for auditions.
Yeah, I guess so. Get in, get out. I think get in and be there. Just be there. Like,
Yeah,
find some presence in the room.
own it. Mm,
Own it. Yeah. But again, like, there's all this. I think a trap that people fall into is they are so caught up in the career stuff and what the goal of the audition is. And for some people, the goal of the audition is to do a good job. And
mm,
like, obviously, that's what you want to do, but that's not the goal of the audition. The goal of the audition is for you. It's a chance for you to, you've done the work before you've gone in. You've read the script 100 times. You've read the scene 100 times. You've analyzed it. You've found ways to connect to it. You've figured out how to understand the context of the script, the context of that scene. What's the purpose of this scene? What's happening for this character? All that stuff. That's all the work. That's this shit you have to do. If you've done all that, when you walk into the room, that's what's on your mind. You should walk into that room loving your character and understanding, all right, I'm going to go in there and do justice for this character, rather than going and going, God, I hope I don't embarrass myself. because it's so disconnected to what your character is. Your character thinking about winning a role? No, your character
No.
is thinking about the fact that he burnt his toast. That's all he's got on his mind. Oh, shit, I burnt my toast. This is the worst day ever. That's all. That's what
Mm,
you should be worrying about. So I think people get really caught up on, and it's totally understandable. But
of course.
that's what experience is for. That's what the reps are for. Get in
Definitely.
front of a camera as many times as you can and experience what it feels like to be nervous and mess up an audition over and over and over again. But every time you do it, make sure that you are thinking back on that experience and going, all right, what was I feeling in that? Where was I in my head? Where was I? Was I thinking about the audition? Was I thinking about winning the audition? Or was I thinking about the burnt toast? And was I listening?
Mm.
Was I listening to the director and going, all right, yeah, let's try that. Yeah, okay. So let's try that version, whatever. Yeah.
I love that, and this is coming from you're very very similar to me that both of us don't have that formal training, so
Hmm.
to speak. And you've spoken about it on your show a lot. So, how do you see with the actors that you've spoken to, and thinking about your own journey as well, that the differences between the actors who've done the formal approach or who've not done the formal approach? Because you've got successful actors who have done both. Some have been
Hmm.
to the 3-year drama school, and others haven't. So, and
Yep.
me and you are on the same page. We're both building our career abilities through on-set experience, so to speak, and
Hmm.
classes. So,
Hmm.
do you, if you had to recommend to someone, which way would you choose a path to
I couldn't
recommend?
I couldn't recommend either one over the other. I think
Mm,
I think both options are really viable, options, and really you're going to get a lot out of either option.
mm,
And it's so dependent on where you are in your life and your privilege in life. Studying is very expensive. It takes a long time. You'll be out of the industry for 3 or 4 years. Can you afford to do that?
mm.
And if you can't, that's fine because there's another option, which is workshops, short films, life experience, talking to other actors, podcasts. Um, there's amateur theater. There's so many other options where you can learn, but you should always be a student. You should always be learning. Every opportunity, everything you go and do, every experience that you have, you should go in with a student mindset, no matter what, whether you're studying or not. In terms of studying, I think that's also a really fantastic option. I think there's a lot of things that I've missed out on because I didn't do formal training,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I think you can pick up on it uh, afterwards. Eventually, anyway, you can all the things. Yeah, you can pick up on it by doing all those things that I just explained. Um, but yeah, there's heaps that I don't know that I wish I did know,
I agree. Mm,
but I don't regret the pathway that I took because it's I don't know, it's my pathway and I've developed my unique way of doing things and I'm happy with that. But I'm not finished. I'm never finished. I've never reached some tier in my head of now I'm an actor. I mean, I feel like I am an actor, but I've never stopped learning and I never
no, I
ever want
love
to
that.
feel that. And as soon
Mm,
as I feel that, I'm failing
mm.
because I'll stop growing. I don't know. If I would say my advice, not that anyone's asking for it, and don't listen to my advice ever, because I didn't study. It's not advice, but my thought would be look into it, look into drama school, look into it, and if you can afford it, if you are happy to not be in the industry for 3 or 4 years, my friends that studied um, at the drama center are all getting well, they are all such talented actors and they're all getting work. They're all getting work in theater. They're all getting on lots of different
Mm,
projects. They are fantastic actors. And there's something about them that I envy because they seem to know something that I don't know. And it's amazing. And I think they're magical actors. But at the same time, I know a lot of actors that didn't study that are also really, really talented and they have their own unique way of doing things. And they are on a constant pursuit to learn. So
mm.
there's no
Yeah,
answer, but
no,
explore them
there isn't.
both.
But I mean, on the flip side of that as well, I know plenty of actors, and there are plenty of actors who did 3 or 4 years at drama school, and they've they've got no work. They're not getting work. And when you do see them, you go, yeah, they're not too bad. And,
Yeah,
even for yourself, I've seen you on screen and, without formal training, you've got a screen presence. It sells. And that's what
thanks,
it
mate.
is.
Thank you.
So that's what I wanted to get. And I like to get from a lot of people is just to showcase to people that there are no one way to do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
your
exactly. Yeah.
podcast shows that, and my podcast shows it, and the people we talk to. As we wind up, I want to ask, with the people you've spoken to so far, what have you taken away as an actor? Do you feel like that you've grown from the things that you've learned? Is there any one thing that stands out to go, I walked away a better person or a better actor because of something I've learned?
On the podcast?
Yeah. Well, because as you talk to differing actors, do you find that?
Yeah.
Well, I find
There's
when I
so
talk to
much.
someone, I walk away so much more motivated as well. That's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, there's so much, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
With the podcast, I think I learned so much, but it also solidifies a lot of thoughts that I've been having. For me, it helps me sort of reconcile the way I think about this whole process, this industry, the approach to the industry. I can't really put my finger on one thing, but it's everything we've been talking about. It's like you never stop learning. Everyone's here to collaborate together. It's not about hierarchy, it's about collaboration. And, as long as we're supporting each other, going as a team player, um, I don't know. I can't really
I
put my
know.
finger on one thing, but
I think you
if you
put your finger on it
yeah,
right there. That's a soundbite in itself, as they say. That was,
sure.
that's what we're talking about. I love that. That's
Mm,
an excellent way to finish up as well, because that's what I like to talk to people about, and it's about showing that the motivation can come from so many different areas.
mm.
And so I thank you very much for that. So, as Chris, before I go and ask my final question, is there anything else that you want to throw out that we haven't talked about, or anything that's driving you crazy in the industry at the moment that we could talk about as a team? Or
In
is
the
it just
industry, look, I would say this to everyone that's feeling jaded about the fact that they're not getting work. There's not a lot of work at the moment.
Mm.
It's not you, you
It's
know.
not you, it's me.
It's not that you're not being chosen. It's that the industry is really, really quiet, and the industry doesn't know what it's doing at the moment. It's really quiet,
Mm.
and it's working itself out. It's easy to blame yourself, and it's easy to start saying these things about yourself, like, "Oh, I'm just not a very good actor. I'll never make it," and that might be true, but it's also a huge thing. Is a huge part of that is the fact that there's not a lot of work happening at the moment. So, in the meantime, go and practice acting. Go and find ways to be humbled, do a workshop and ask for honest feedback and really listen and write that shit down and go, okay, how can I find a way to apply this feedback into my work and figure out how to actually adopt this feedback, try things out and figure out your way of doing this thing. Really
Mm.
listen. That's a big thing. But
Agree.
don't blame yourself for the fact that you're not getting work at the moment because there's just not a lot of work. It's not your agent's fault, by the way. It's not your
Oh,
agent.
definitely not.
It's no one's fault. It's just the industry's quiet.
And that's around the world. That's Americans are
Yeah,
talking about it. There's
yeah,
issues, there's changing, there's funding changes. People want to make the millions, but they don't want to spend the millions. So it makes it very
yeah,
difficult
yeah.
across
There's
the
a
board.
bottleneck. There's a bottleneck of work. It's bottlenecking at the what's the word? The development stage.
Yeah,
Heaps of work in
definitely.
development, but no one wants
Mm.
to buy it.
Yeah, and the other problem there too is that everything's filtering down. It happened a lot during COVID, that because of that lack of work. So now you've got the top tier actors who only went for top tier roles. They're now taking support roles, etc.,
Mhm.
which bumps everyone down. So it makes everything harder for everybody.
I would say don't wait for if you have in your head that there are gatekeepers at the top that are holding the key for your career. they don't exist. They don't know
Mm.
what's happening either. Go and find filmmakers that you want to work with and go and make something, even if it's a piece of shit. Go and make something. Get a rep in front of a camera, like a repetition in front of the camera.
Yes, definitely.
And just go be bad until you're good. Make stuff, and be an artist. Get it out, get it off your chest as an artist for the sake of making stuff, not for the sake of proving to everyone that you're good.
Exactly.
That's what I would say.
Exactly. 48-hour film challenge for Adelaide's been moved forward. It's in August this year, so that's not far away. You can plan for that. That's in most regional markets. So for everyone that's listening from around the world, you can find the 48-hour film challenge and do that yourself. Students, they've got filmmakers are in every university around the world, so they're all opportunities. So, Chris, thank you very much, mate. This has been absolutely fantastic.
It's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on. This is really nice.
It is, and you don't get away that easy. I've got a tradition that's going on the show that I ask my guests what would their favorite T-shirt quote be, or what would their T-shirt be if they had to put a quote on it and be willing to walk around in public in it. What would yours be? And it doesn't have to be acting related. It can be whatever you want.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have to be. My T-shirt would say, my T-shirt would say, "Eyes up here, buddy." It'll say that, or it'll say, "Go pluck yourself."
Go pluck yourself. I love it.
It might say something. It might say, "Go fuck yourself." But I beat that out myself. I'm a very good boy.
I love it. I love it. I think Sienna from my last episode, she had that as her T-shirt. We decided that the T-shirt would be F*#, so she wouldn't get in the shit out in the public.
I like it.
So awesome. Thank you, Chris. It's been fantastic. Pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you look up Go Pluck Yourself. It's on all good podcast platforms. Where else can they look you up and if they want to check you out or reach out to you?
You can also watch Go Pluck Yourself on YouTube. It's all, just search it. You can also check out my Instagram, which is at featuring_Chris_gun. Yeah.
And that's
one
about
N,
it. G-U-N.
One N.
And I'll put the links in the show notes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Late Bloomer podcast. And Chris, again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, mate.
It's my pleasure, mate. Thanks, Dave. Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
see you there.
Well, there you go, guys. That was Chris Gunn from Go Pluck Yourself, fellow Adelaide actor and a fellow podcaster. If you haven't checked out his podcast, make sure you do. I've listened to every episode. I'm very supportive in that way, but also because it's fantastic. The people he gets to talk to, both Adelaide actors and actors from outside of Adelaide, bring so much information. And that's what it is about learning, about taking something away that you might be able to use in your own acting career. So reflecting on my chat with Chris, what did I take away? I took away the powerful reminder that success in acting is not solely about talent, but it's also about mindset. And there's that word again, mindset. And again, my wife's going to come in and say, I told you, mindset, resilience, persistence, and the willingness to embrace opportunities wherever they arise. Now, Chris's story is a testament to the fact that regional actors can indeed make a mark on the global stage. His journey underscores the importance of staying true to one's passion, continuously honing one's craft and maintaining a positive outlook despite the industry's challenges. And they're bigger and bigger at the moment. But, the world is just going through so much, but you just got to keep pushing through. This conversation's left me inspired and it's motivated me to keep pushing forward in my own acting journey. So hopefully you get the same from this. Thank you very much. We'll see you on set, guys.